St. Isaac's Cathedral may be famous, but it's also controversial. Officially, it isn't a church, it's a state-run museum. But that could change soon. St. Petersburg's local administration plans to transfer control of the building to the Russian Orthodox Church, a decision that has made many people angry. Sabina Pichatkina and Irina Shainman have been protesting against the measure for over a year now. They're preparing to take to the streets of their hometown again. Irina's poster reads, "The Constitution separates church and state." The two women feel the Orthodox Church has stopped respecting that.
This is part of a larger phenomenon in Russian society. The church is interfering more and more in everything, in the army, in schools, in the government, in local parliament, in everything. Even though officially there is a separation of church and state here.
St. Isaac's Cathedral is the final stronghold in the battle for our state. The Constitution says we live in a secular country, and that's what I want.
Blue has become the color of this movement to protect St. Petersburg's skyline. Armed with balloons, the protesters are fighting for their city, despite the freezing temperatures. Their balloons read, "The cathedral must remain a museum." Ahead of the upcoming elections, Irina and the other protesters want to show the government that the church's influence in Russia has gone too far. The Russian president, on the other hand, makes a point of showing his close proximity to the Orthodox Church. It's seen as a pillar of Vladimir Putin's Russia. But the increasing influence of the church is divisive here. It all started with Pussy Riot a few years ago. The punk band's protest against the lack of separation between church and state got the women sentenced to 2 years in a prison colony. And insulting the feelings of believers became a criminal offense in Russia. The allegation is becoming increasingly common. A production of Wagner's opera Tannhäuser in Novosibirsk was labeled blasphemous and banned. The portrayal of an affair between Tsar Nicholas II, who was canonized by the Russian Orthodox Church, and a ballerina in the film Matilda also caused a scandal. The church itself sees its influence as historically justified. After all, during the Soviet Union, religion was suppressed, churches were destroyed or repurposed, and priests were killed.
In today's Russia, Orthodox Christianity has become an important part of the national identity. And that actually returns Russia to its normal state. We see getting church property back as a restoration of historical justice.
The protesters outside St. Isaac's Cathedral disagree. They say this building belonged to the state and not the church, even before the Russian Revolution. Surveys show that most St. Petersburgers want the building to remain a museum.
We want our protest to emphasize that our government is secular, that no single religion is privileged in this country, and that a state museum belongs to everyone here, no matter what religion they are.
The local government has so far refused to hold a referendum on the issue, perhaps because it could provoke too much of a conflict ahead of this summer's elections. So for now, the fate of St. Petersburg's most important cathedral remains up in the air, at least until after polling day.